Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, there lived a young boy named Jack. Jack was known for his bright smile and adventurous spirit. He and his mother were very poor, and they barely had enough food to eat. But despite their hardships, Jack always found joy in the simple things, like the sound of birds chirping in the morning or the warmth of the sun on his face. One day, Jack's mother called him into their humble cottage. "Jack, my dear, we are running out of food," she said with a worried expression. "Our cow is the only valuable possession we have left. Take her to the market and sell her so we can buy some food." Jack nodded and set off towards the market, leading their old, gentle cow behind him. As he walked, he couldn't help but daydream about the possibilities that lay ahead. Perhaps he could find a way to make their lives better, even with the meager coins he would get for the cow. On his way to the market, Jack met an old man with a long white beard. The old man's eyes twinkled kindly, and he wore a peculiar hat adorned with stars. "Good day, young lad," the old man greeted Jack warmly. "What brings you to the market today?" Jack explained their problem, and the old man's eyes sparkled with understanding. "I have something special to offer you," he said, reaching into his pocket. He pulled out 5 shiny beans that shimmered like precious gems. "These are magic beans. Plant them in your garden, and something wonderful will happen." Intrigued by the old man's offer, Jack thought about his mother's reaction and hesitated for a moment. But the idea of magic beans was too tempting to resist. "All right, sir, I will take the beans," Jack said, handing over the cow's lead in exchange. With the beans safely in his pocket, Jack hurried back home to his mother. However, when he showed her the magic beans, she was furious. "Oh, Jack, what have you done?" she exclaimed, throwing the beans out of the window in frustration. Feeling sad, Jack went to bed that night, unsure of what the future held. But as he woke up the next morning, he couldn't believe his eyes. A gigantic beanstalk had grown overnight, reaching high up into the sky. It seemed to touch the very clouds themselves. Curiosity got the better of Jack, and he decided to climb the beanstalk to see what lay beyond the clouds. As he ascended higher and higher, the world below him shrank, and a sense of wonder filled his heart. The beanstalk led to a magical land high above the ground, where the sky was filled with fluffy clouds, and he could see enormous fruits and treasures glittering in the distance. Finally, Jack reached the top of the beanstalk and stepped into a grand castle. He was awestruck by its size and beauty. "I wonder who lives here," Jack whispered to himself. To his surprise, the giant that lived in the castle was nowhere to be seen. Perhaps he was out, or maybe he was taking a nap. Determined to explore further, Jack tiptoed around the giant's castle, marveling at the enormous treasures he discovered. In one corner, he found a golden harp that played the most enchanting melodies. Its music filled the air with joy and laughter. In another corner, he found a hen with feathers as golden as the sun, and she laid eggs made of pure gold. Realizing that these treasures could change his and his mother's lives forever, Jack decided to take the golden hen and the harp back to his village. With great care, he carried them down the beanstalk and back to his humble cottage. When he reached the ground, Jack chopped down the beanstalk, making sure the giant couldn't follow him. From that day on, the magical beanstalk disappeared, and the giant's castle remained hidden in the clouds. Back in the village, Jack and his mother were overjoyed with the treasures the magical beanstalk had brought them. The golden eggs from the hen and the music of the harp brought prosperity and happiness to their lives. They no longer had to worry about hunger or poverty. The story of Jack and the Beanstalk became a legend in the village, and people marveled at the magic that had changed the young boy's life. Jack knew that the old man with the twinkling eyes had given him a gift beyond measure, and he vowed to use the treasures wisely and to always cherish the magic of dreams.